Warriors come out to play. Warriors come out to play. One of the greatest lines in any movie ever. In this episode, we're going to look at the collectibles of the Warriors, cult classic.
Yeah. So Warriors, a cult film directed and co-written by Walter Hill. Later went on to make 48 Hours.
Some very big movies.
Streets of Fire.
That's correct.
Which is one of my
favorites. One of Brian's favorites.
And it's a great story. Picture it. New York, late 1970s. The Warriors are going to travel from Coney Island to the Bronx for a conference of the gangs called by, what was the leader of the gang? Cyrus.
The leader of the Griffs.
Right. During the meeting, somebody assassinates Cyrus and blames the Warriors. Now the Warriors have to get from the Bronx all the way back to Coney Island in Brooklyn without getting killed by 10,000 gang members who are screaming for their blood. These are the armies of the night.
That's good. You did it just like the commercial.
Yeah, that was not bad.
Also, the Warriors included a young star named Thomas Waite, who happens to be a friend of the show.
We interviewed him when we had an old podcast back
on our podcast. He was absolutely fantastic.
Sweet guy. Real sweet guy.
Really a lot of fun.
Look him up and follow him on Instagram.
Yeah. Watch. He's been directing some movies now. Yep. Check out the movies he's directing. He's a fantastic guy, man. He was really wonderful, and we had him on here.
He happened to also star in one of our other favorite movies, The Thing.
He absolutely does. Yeah. We will be doing a Thing episode at some point. So just check out Thomas Waite, a friend of our show. So there's not a lot of Warrior merchandise out there. Only two companies really produce things. Mezco has the license for figures. Funko has a license to produce everything under the sun, and Warriors happens to be one of them. Mezco has released 3 lines. The first line is a 3 3/4, which is Star Wars size, is what I always call them. They released
5-point articulation.
5-point articulation: neck, shoulders, hips.
Right.
So 5 points articulation. Good to play with, but not a lot of movement in them. So
not a lot of posability.
You could have the Warriors fight, Luke Skywalker if you want.
Ooh.
Or anyone from any movie.
Ajax versus Han Solo.
Ajax versus Han Solo.
That'd be pretty good.
They released the 3 3/4 figures. There's Swan, Ajax, Cochise, Cleon, and the most popular of any of the figures from the Warriors, the Furies. They released a red one and a yellow one. It's funny how one of the gangs who appears in the movie for this amount of time actually gets the most figures out of any of them.
Well, because they're so visually striking.
They're so striking, and it's a New York-based thing. So, Mezco also did like a 6-inch figure line. They include...
I've seen these. These are nice.
They're they look kind of like He-Man, like...
Yeah,
they're
do.
more muscular. They did Swan, who happens to be the leader of the Warriors. Cochise, Cleon, who was the leader of the Warriors, but dies right at the beginning.
Gets killed.
Spoilers. Luther, who's one of the bad guys.
The villain.
Warriors come out and play. That's Luther. And, of course, Furies.
Again,
they did 3 this time. Yellow, blue, and green. And there are also dirty versions of them. So there's ones where they're a little bit dirty. And they did a 3-pack of all 3 of those. Very hard to find the 3-pack. So if you're looking for them, check out Toy Shows. Check out eBay has a lot of them. They also did a very high-end figure line. These have 40 points of articulation. 3 3/4 has 5. These, they're like 8-inch, 9-inch, have 40 points of articulation. They did Cyrus, Ajax, Swan, a baseball Fury, and an orphan leader.
Oh, the orphan leader.
The orphans.
Yeah, he was great.
You can't have a meeting without the orphans.
Yeah.
With lines from the movie. Brian and I are big fans of the movie.
Love it.
We did a podcast on it once. It ran for 2 hours.
Finally,
Finally,
our episode was longer than the
it
movie.
was longer than our podcast episode was longer than the movie. Funko has a bunch of different ones out there. You can find these at reasonable prices except for one. They did Swan, Cochise, Luther, the Punks leader, which is the guy in the roller skates.
Chucky.
Yeah. Guy in roller skates. They get attacked by them in a bathroom in a New York City subway
station.
Right. There's the Baseball Furies. There's a yellow one. There's a red one and a green one. The red and green one were Funko exclusives you could only buy on the Funko website. And there was a blue one that was a New York City Comic-Con exclusive that is really, really, really hard to find. Funko also did a game. It's a Warriors game. Have no idea how to play it. Maybe if I see it one day, I'll pick it up, and me and Brian will do an episode where we play the Warriors game.
Yes.
Finally, was a toy released by a company called Toy 2R. It's a Kui Evil Ape Fury. I can only find one of these listed. I don't know when it came out. It's very interesting looking. If you have this, please let me know. If you know anything about Toy 2R, let me know in the comments what else they sell. It seems like a very interesting line of evil apes. So that's it. Furies.
So it's an evil
Furies
ape that
rule.
looks like a baseball Fury?
Yeah, it's an evil ape that looks like a baseball. Looks like that.
Cool.
So that's it. There should be a lot more Warrior stuff, I would think. The movie's a cult classic, but that's all that's out there. So some of these movies just don't have enough product to sustain the fan base.
Which is a very big pet peeve of mine.
So please, release more Warriors figures.
Let's have more Warrior stuff.
Please.
By the way, if you go to any t-shirt shop in Coney Island, you can get yourself a Warriors
There you
t-shirt.
go. There's a lot of Warriors t-shirts
Tons.
and pins and
Tons.
you know, you could buy the jacket that they wear.
Yep.
You could meet them they appear at a lot of shows nowadays.
There was
so.
a reunion not that long ago.
Recently in Coney Island.
In Coney
actually.
Island.
You know, we're big Warriors fans, so we could probably talk forever about it, but we won't. Like and subscribe, as we always say.
Love what you collect.
Collect what you love. We'll see you next time.